Assalamu alaikum, Nour.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. And I'm very excited about this channel that we're gonna have. We're gonna have a YouTube channel, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a Spotify channel, and then Instagram page, I guess.
Everything channel,
Yeah,
inshallah.
inshallah. And I hope that we can maintain these beside our like hustles and works and travel and all of those stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is gonna be also a motivation for us to like share and like inspire others to have some kind of experiences in life.
It's like I'm glad that we were both on the same page about this, because like I had this idea for a while and you also had this idea for a while. So we were like chatting and we were like, let's do it. So inshallah we will maintain it, inshallah. And our friends will help us, you know, to grow, inshallah, and be part of our journey and our stories. We have a lot of stories that we're going to share with them. So
with you as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, as we have been traveling for a really long time now, like we have a lot of things inside to share.
Yeah.
And you cannot really share these things like with your friends, because like, you know, they have this capacity of like listening to you. But there are people who are interested in these and like they want to learn more, they want to travel to similar destinations and they don't know how to do it, why to do it, and if they should be doing it or not, and if they're going to do it, like what they should be considering and all of these things. So I think this is what I would need before starting the travel, like someone telling me to be careful about some things, to consider some stuff. So I think we'll be like kind of doing that here.
So to add like what you said, our reason is basically that I feel like our journey has been different as a Muslim woman traveling, or just like being outside of our countries in general, than any other content out there. And it's like the experiences that we have been through, the people that we met, our relationship with Islam and like Allah in general, you know, and trying to maintain our religion while traveling. All of it is a bit different than what's out there. So it's kind of like we felt that we have to share it in a way that to make people aware, or like the girls that want to travel, aware of what is it traveling exactly as a Muslim woman. Not just like what is it traveling as solo traveling, no, what is it traveling as a Muslim woman. So
also like, you know, there are a lot of traveling pages and vlogs and YouTube channels out there in many different languages. There are like tons of it. However, like what we want to do here is not like to inspire people to just go out of your comfort zone, just you know, go discover the world. Like, of course, I think like, you know, Allah is telling us to, you know, see the world and like, you know, reflect on the creation. But like I don't think promoting like just go out of your home, just you know, leave everything behind.
No, definitely. Guys, disclaimer, this like video or this our YouTube channel or like our podcast, it won't be about go travel, go girl. No, we will show you like the real life of traveling and the real behind the scenes of what is it traveling. So
actually recently I was thinking about making a reels on Instagram on the topic like how traveling ruined my life. You know, maybe we can like take a whole podcast about it, because like, you know, it creates a lot of like sometimes anxiety, sometimes existential crisis, sometimes problems with your spirituality, and it really affects on your maintenance with like your daily tasks and everything. So like I learned it the hard way, you know, like I learned it, I'm still learning it actually. I don't say like, you know, I'm perfect about it, like I don't have any problems anymore while traveling, but now I came to a point where I started to, you know, consider some things before I take a step. But I feel like, you know, now we're talking a bit like unclear, like as if people are knowing about us, you know, as we know about each other. So let's just, you know, introduce ourselves.
Sure. My name is Nour. I'm Tunisian. Tunisia is located for North Africa, for both who doesn't know, because I got asked a lot, unfortunately, what is Tunisia. I'm 25, so right now I'm working remotely, and maybe like I have been not too much countries as much as Beyza, mashallah.
How many countries have you been to?
It's 7 countries now.
Okay, but I feel like, you know, as we talk, I feel like we have been to 70 countries because like the 7 countries that you have been, I think you had like big experiences there. So that's why I think like quantity is more like less important than the quality of the experience that you have.
Yeah, believe me, one of the things that I think you also can confirm, like I met people that, oh, I have been traveling to 50 countries, but when you talk to them, it's like you don't feel that you're talking to a person that have been actually to 50 countries. It's like nothing changed, you know, like I feel like they have learned nothing from the 50 countries that they lived or like traveled to. So yeah.
Also, most of the time you get to understand that like 40 of those countries are European countries.
Definitely.
That have nothing different than the others.
I hate
like,
that.
like if you're in Europe, like it's really easy to get from one place to another. Like, you know.
I mean, yeah, that's like the thing. I hate it when someone says like, oh, I have been traveling, like in a showing off, you know, way. I have been traveling to 30 countries. Oh, where is it? I'm like, 30 countries, you know, such a quite big experience they had. Europe and Canada and a bit of US, you know, and I don't know how many states in US, and I'm like, okay, good for you. I cannot relate, I'm sorry.
And I think you did some internship, like
I did internship, I did volunteering experiences. That's why like that's part of the what we're going to talk about in I mean like upcoming episodes. What are we doing while traveling and everything, because that I feel like it also makes the traveling experience different than just like packing your stuff and go for vacation, woohoo, you know, it's no. So yeah, and for the other countries I was just like traveling on my own, exploring. So yeah, that was like a bit journey for the past 2 years, and I'm so learning.
Like we're in Malaysia, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
for those who doesn't know.
Yeah, as digital nomads, we both like work while traveling.
Yeah.
So we both actually want to move to Malaysia because like while traveling we discovered that like this is the most livable place for us, and like you know it has a lot of things to offer. Maybe we can just make a whole episode about Malaysia as well. Of
course.
Because like people don't really make sense of like you know why would you move to Malaysia?
Yeah. I actually met a lot of travelers that Malaysia for them is okay, you know, but not like a place that they want to stay in. But that's why we're saying from the beginning, our experience is as a Muslim woman. So definitely for us as a Muslim woman, I would dream of staying in Malaysia, you know.
Exactly.
I'm like dreaming about it every day.
Yeah. We're just hanging out and we're like, why don't you allow us to stay here? You know, like we want to live here. Just let just us like blend in this society. You know? So hopefully, inshallah, it will happen.
Inshallah. Now, like your turn to introduce yourself to the audience.
So my name is Beyza, and I'm also 25. And I've been traveling since like solo since I was like 18. And I've been to 34 countries right now. Most of them in Europe though. 13 countries in Europe.
I'm judging you.
And like some countries in Asia and Middle East as well.
Yeah. But you cannot tell, you guys. She has like such a thick, like big experience behind her back. So
yeah, maybe like because I was like backpacking and like you know even like the reason why even my Europe experience was good is that I was like you know kite surfing. I was hanging out with local people, and I had very like close friends while traveling, and like I think that's changed my Europe experience. I would say it was more than sightseeing for me.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like some of those trips were for like internship, especially like Japan. You know, it was one of the most life-changing experiences of my life. So like you know, when I travel, I generally try to travel with a purpose.
Yeah.
But now I came to a point where I'm thinking like, you know, I don't have to necessarily do something in a country to be traveling, you know, because, you know, I can just, you know, go and discover that place and like learn from the experience itself. It doesn't necessarily have to be for work or internship or like volunteership, but like those are giving you the best experiences, I would say as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So like you said you have been to Europe, you have been to Asia.
Middle East.
She has been to Palestine,
yeah, it's really like,
which is is like for me, it's a dream. So
inshallah, we will go to Free Palestine one day.
Yeah, inshallah.
And it's actually like my second home that I'm calling. I was actually supposed to be in Jerusalem right now instead of Malaysia, but Allah wanted me to be here at this time. So I've been to Palestine like 7 times.
Oh,
and yeah, traveled all around actually the country, except Gaza. I died to go to Gaza, like really. Yeah, so that's a very touching topic for me.
Yeah.
So I would love to talk about my Palestine experience. I have a lot of families there that I feel like I'm really part of those families, and I'm still in contact with them. That's why I speak like Palestinian dialect, and I speak Arabic.
Yeah, for those actually who doesn't know, Beyza is because you didn't say nationality. I said I'm Tunisian, but you didn't say.
I mean world.
She's everything.
Yeah.
So you can tell them. Okay.
I'm a polyglot actually. You know, I speak 6 languages.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. So I speak Arabic fluently as well. So my dialect when I speak Arabic is like more like Palestinian dialect, and the reason for that is that because I spent a lot of time in Palestine and I have a lot of friends from there.
Yeah.
So I'm still in contact with them.
Yeah. But your Turkish part helped.
Yeah, I guess.
Like don't let your Turkish people, say like you started traveling and now you're letting go your nationality.
No, I have my black tea here.
We had Turkish coffee, we had the black tea, we had the Turkish soup. So you guys, she's still Turkish. Don't worry.
Turkish. I still miss like some stuff, while I'm far away. So I think I'm still holding on my identity.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah. So that's my role,
Yeah.
And what about languages that you speak? You're a polyglot as well.
So yeah, but I mean like, with all humbleness in the world, it's only. By the way, guys, so English for me is like my 3rd language. So there might be some mistakes here and there, grammar mistakes, something like this. You just pretend that you didn't hear them. So
it doesn't matter. You don't try to be perfectionist here. Just be ourselves.
Yeah, it's actually our personalities, shining, and it will be shining more in the next episodes. But we have like to say, because sometimes like when you're a native speaker and then someone is like talking your language and you're trying to understand them and you're like, yeah, it's correct, but it's like your ear is like I don't it's broken.
Okay, sorry for native speakers. But like when it comes to native speakers, I'm like, okay, it's your native language. Like it's your job to understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I do my best to speak it at an advanced level. So like you're doing that first.
Yeah. So basically, about the languages, I speak only 4 languages. So I speak Arabic, French, English, and Turkish.
Yeah. Actually, like I was surprised by her Turkish skills.
Actually, we met like the first time, and she put me on the spot. She was like, "Merhaba, nasılsın?" And I was like, "Okay, iyiyim, sen nasılsın?"
I think you just need like to revise what you learned before. Just get to speak fluently again. Because like spending a lot of time in Turkey, everyone gets to speak Turkish. Because sadly no one speaks English in Turkey.
Yeah. I can confirm that.
Yeah.
Also,
so
the
people have to learn Turkish.
Also, the people that like visited Turkey can confirm that.
Yeah.
Well, all respect to Turkish people. We're not trying to. Yeah.
Even like I met an American girl like while traveling in Kuala Lumpur. And she was literally speaking Turkish fluently, like A2 level, but like she was fluent in the language. And I was like, an American girl, like speaking Turkish, like why and how? And she was like, I stayed in Turkey for like 7 months, and I'm like, okay, now it makes sense because like she was doing couch surfing as well. She was meeting with Turkish people all the time, so she was getting to practice every single day, and people get to speak Turkish once they're there. Like it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You said you're a freelancer.
Yeah.
And what exactly are you doing, and like what is your working routine look like?
So right now I work as a project manager. So I offer like project management services. That's like the main thing that I'm doing. On the side of that, I have like few side hustles that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm enjoying like the freedom that you get to work 24 hours.
Yes. Actually, like recently, I was watching a like video about like entrepreneurship, and it was saying like instead of working 8 hours for someone else, I would prefer to work 24 hours for myself. You know, and I was like, yeah, like you know, I enjoy this stress. You know?
Yeah. I mean, like, to be honest with you guys, I'm not working as much as Beyza, so I was like so surprised with her energy, mashallah, you know. But for me, I'm still like, you know. But
I
for
hope
her,
to be in your place though.
I hope to be in your place though.
That's the thing, like you know, nobody's satisfied with
Yeah,
like where
that's
they are,
life.
you know?
I mean, like Allah created us like somehow that way.
Yeah.
So it's better to be grateful, which is like another thing that maybe we'll bring a little bit later, which is we have talked about it, like when you reach to certain levels or you have like a certain lifestyle that you aspire or you dreamed of to have at some point, then when you have it, it's kind of like,
Is that really what I want?
yeah, it's kind of like, that's why we're sharing our traveling stories, because I feel like everyone is just glamorizing traveling. Oh, it's so nice, it's so I don't know what, this and that, but there are a lot of things that you have to consider before you pack your bag to leave.
Yeah. Also, like while working as a freelancer, like as a digital nomad, traveling is sometimes it's not that fun because
Yeah.
it can be too stressing. That if you come to a point where you think like, is it really worth it? Like, do I really enjoy this point, like this moment that I'm having in Thailand, for example. So like, I think that's why we're here right now. Like, you know, just trying to settle down a little bit and like reflecting on what we have experienced so far and digesting them. It really takes time to digest all of these huge experiences too. That's another struggle for me. So after a really long trip, it would take me like 6 months to digest that.
You take a lot of time to reflect on it, reflect on the things that happened, reflect on the person that actually lived that experience. It's a bit rough. It's like roller coaster in terms of everything, you know, like literally it's nice to be honest. It's like there is such a big room for growth, but you have to really have thick skin and like really resilience within you and like big belief in Allah, you know, that He's there for you in order to, you know, get over like certain situations or like get over certain feelings that arises while you're traveling, especially if you're traveling on the long term. Because let's explain it. We're talking here about traveling on the long term. We're not talking about traveling for 1 month and going back home, or like even 2 months and going back home. We're talking about 3 months plus, I think so, of just like being away from home, having one suitcase, having all your life packed in one suitcase or one backpack, you know, and then So not to drift, let's go back to Beyza, what she's doing. Let's tell the people what kind of 24 hours, you know, you're spending working.
Okay, so I'm normally a Turkish teacher. I teach Turkish to foreigners, and this is something that I really enjoy because I get to, you know, meet people from all over the world. But recently, in the last couple of years, I decided to, you know, have some passive income and start this small business of mine called Nour Academy, in which, you know, I teach Turkish, but I have other teachers who are teaching other languages to Turkish audience mainly. But it turned out that I started working 24 hours instead of like a couple of hours actually teaching. I didn't expect it to be like turned into this, but I'm quite happy with the place that it is right now. And like right now, my focus is on this business and like growing it more. And also the reason why I'm in Malaysia is that I bring Turkish students to study English here. So I'm also kind of like trying to, you know, settle down here by, you know, growing this business as well.
So anyone interested to learn
English or any other language, you can, you know, feel free to contact and reach out from Nour Academy Instagram accounts. So that's it, you know, like because my academy is online, I can work like freely wherever I am. I don't necessarily have to be in Turkey. And people are like, you know, Beyza, like if it's online, we can be like working in Istanbul. You don't necessarily have to have an office. And I'm like,
of course.
Why not traveling? You know, why do I have to stay in Istanbul if it's online? You know, because you know I believe that like this energy that I'm having right now, these opportunities that I'm having, this freedom that I'm having right now, maybe I won't have it when I'm 30. You know, that's why you know I think we get the advantage of this energy and put it into our work and like you know design our life according to this.
Especially with the fact that, I mean, we aspire to have, marriage, kids. I mean, like, probably like where we will reach certain point where we have like other obligation in life. We have other responsibilities that we don't have like that much flexibility. I would say
That's
like
right.
more than freedom to do like certain things. So yeah.
How we met actually, like I think it's important to share about this as well. And I think like the best part of this channel and this project is that we also get to know each other new. So we have this like it's not that we know everything about each other. You know? So that's why we will have this curiosity. Right, sitting in the middle.
So basically, we met through couchsurfing, which is like an application where you meet like local or you meet travelers in the city or the country that you're visiting. For those who are not familiar with couchsurfing, and you messaged me, right? She messaged me.
I don't know how actually.
I still don't know how because I don't know how she found my profile. Because I didn't put in my profile that I'm in Malaysia. She also doesn't know how she founded me. But I think it was destined from Allah.
That's right.
To happen somehow. So that's how we met.
Allah like brings your paths together and like you know connects it in some points so that you know you can meet specific people. And the beautiful thing is that we get to realize that you know we met each other at a time that we really needed this support, you know. And we really needed to share all of these things and all of the struggles that we are having while traveling as a Muslim woman, and like the lack of support that we are having from the people in our hometowns and like generally from the society, you know.
The lack of support, I would say that it's mainly coming from not necessarily like being Muslim traveling, more of it being a human being doing something that not everyone is doing it.
That's right.
Because we're 25, but I mean like we're not married,
but still
we are away from our homes. We're living out of one suitcase. I'm not sure if we have like enough savings or not, you know. I mean like we are working, we are earning money, but maybe other people in our age that are like higher in terms of their career. Exactly. So it's kind of like society, it's kind of like makes you always feel or reminds you always that hey, what you're doing is not acceptable, you know, it's not familiar, it's not something we know, so
it's too risky, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, like, you have to have a set salary or something like that. But actually like while traveling, what I get to see is Western people generally, you know, like at the age of 25, 26, 27, you get to see backpackers, you get to see travelers, and like it's so normal to have a gap year before and after the college. And I got the courage to do a gap year after
Seriously?
my college.
You're so lucky, girl.
But that happened only after met with a lot of Europeans at my age doing the gap year, and I was seeing how much they were growing themselves while doing that.
How did your family react to that?
Like I was like. Everyone just wanted me to do my master's right away, you know, and I was like, you know, doing my business, earning money, traveling at the same time. So I was kind of like trying to do some internships, also to not feel that guilty, you know. Also trying to do something beneficial and to get the most out of that year. So yeah, people were like, you know, why don't you do your master's right away? You're losing time, you're losing years. And I was doing them this explanation, it's just abnormal in our country. It's abnormal to slow down, to give a gap year. You don't necessarily have to travel in your gap year. You can just have a work experience. You can just, I don't know, like you can memorize Quran in 1 year. Like some of my friends did that actually. Like I'm really proud of them as well. Like you can just do something beneficial in 1 year. Like after, in my opinion, losing 4 years stuck in university.
I mean, like I'm so surprised that you did gap year, because it's like coming from an Arab background. I would say that it's a delusion, Even if you dream, you cannot reach your dream, something like this. So personally, I didn't continue master's, so I did bachelor and then I stopped. And mainly I stopped because I thought like me continuing my master's is not going to fulfill my dreams or the lifestyle that I aspire to have. And to be honest, everyone was like just looking at me that, girl, are you okay in your mind, It's like, are you going to be jobless for the rest of your life? And I'm like, it's just like I didn't do masters, it's not like the end of the world. But actually it's society sometimes can make you feel that it is the end of the world if you don't get like a proper degree.
Yeah, that's right.
But the thing is, that's the good side about traveling, which is like when you travel, you understand that there is a lot outside of your comfort zone or outside of your bubble, and outside of getting a degree, and you get to meet like really people on a high level that didn't get a degree in the first place. So you kind of like understand that it's not about getting grades or about getting a degree. It's more of it about like what you're feeding your mind, what you're studying, what you're reading, and stuff like that. So I'm so happy for you that you had a gap year. I don't know why I feel like I'm excited more than you, for it.
Okay, like I didn't think that it was such a big deal actually. Like
it is.
Yeah, like having like it's been a while since I did that,
Yeah.
Actually, my Europe trip was a part of this because actually like another thing that I did going out of my comfort zone is that I extended my college. And that was much more unacceptable than the gap year.
Okay.
Because like normally we are having this formation program like to become a teacher. So in my department I studied Islamic studies, and to teach Islamic studies at schools you have this formation program to get a certificate.
Okay.
And to do Erasmus, to go to Germany, I had to just give up on the certification program, and I chose to go to Erasmus. And everyone was like, you took all of these courses and you just need to do it like 1 term of internship, and then you just like everyone was saying like this is a golden bracelet, like I don't know if you have this term in your mind,
I understand what you mean.
Like once you have it, like you're gonna be safe your whole life. Like, even if you don't have any job, you can still be a teacher.
It's like saying like in some countries having a government job is like your safety for your whole life. If you have a government job, you're good to go. You can just like sleep your whole life, because you're like safe.
Exactly. So it was gonna be something like that for a person who would want to be a teacher. But I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. Like I never wanted to be a teacher like that. Like I am a Turkish teacher, and I love what I'm doing right now is one-on-one like teaching, But I never saw myself teaching in a classroom in a like governmental school. Never. And I'm like, people say me like this is a golden bracelet. I'm like, I don't want that golden bracelet. I want silver bracelet. I don't care. Like
I don't care.
Yeah. So like whatever the classes that I took, it was like on my benefit. I learned about the education, etc. I learned some things. Like I don't think it was useful though. So after that, like I went to Erasmus for 6 months, and then when I came back, like my university just extended that back because like I couldn't count all of the courses that I took from there. But it wasn't a problem for me. Everyone was just like, you're losing time. I'm like, I'm 23. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what kind of losing time are you talking about? Why am I rushing? Where am I rushing?
That's the thing. Like losing time, or it's like it's nonsense. It's like just like what kind of time you're talking about? I'm 22. Same when I started traveling. Like, why you don't save money? Why you don't start saving money? And I'm like, I'm 22. Like,
what am I gonna do with the money? Like,
can I live like 3 years stress free about thinking about saving money, buying a car, something like this, you know? That's not life. I mean, to be honest, it's okay. Let's be honest. Now at 25 years old, I'm going to admit it. It's nice to have a car.
Same here. Yeah.
But if you ask me and you say like, would you go back to 22 and save all the money that you were earning instead of like traveling? I would say no.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's nice to have a career. I sit with my friends, you know, back home, and like I sit with them. They are like well established, having a career. Majority of them are getting married, something like this. But I'm happy for them. I mean, like each person have their journey in life, and this is our journey. It's like their journey. But also like I feel like personally I have achieved a lot of things, or alhamdulillah I have lived a lot of things that maybe like if you put it like on a scale with the career and with like the money and with like the car and like security and whatever, yeah, it's like maybe same or better. So yeah,
I think it really depends on the person and what they expect from life.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's nice that people like what they desire from life, they just project it onto you, or what they're afraid of in the life, they also project it onto you, and they expect you to be as much as afraid of like them, you know, or they just want you to be as excited as they are on some sort of things. But everyone's expectations are different, right? So for someone living a stable life in a stable place, car is very essential, maybe as if they're working outside. But here, like I'm thinking like conditions, etc. I can be traveling around. I don't know where I'm gonna settle down literally because I don't have a visa here yet. So like it doesn't make sense to buy a car here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but to be honest,
yeah.
To be honest, like at the age of 22, it's pointless
to get a car.
Yeah, I mean like anywhere, even in back home, to have a car, whatever. I mean, okay, maybe it's nice to have a car if you don't have like public transportation. So my country, for example, for context, like we use cars. We don't have like public transportation. Otherwise, you will die, you know, inside of the metro. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's nice to have like that means of transportation. But my point is, don't, I mean, risk everything or like give up on everything or any dream you have just like to have a car.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you will have it and then you will be like, okay,
what am I gonna do next?
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing.
And it's like giving you the experience itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a car, I mean like, I don't know why we're talking about the car specifically.
I feel like deep inside we both want a car, but we're like, no, where am I gonna drive it, you know?
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
we can get another flight ticket with that money, you know?
Yeah, for guys that have never been to Malaysia before, it's like this part of Asia, it's like so humid to the point that, you know, you lose your breath, you know, and after 3 minutes of starting
it's
walking.
raining so bad that you cannot walk around.
Yeah, it's either raining or it's like either so humid. So luckily, public transportation takes you everywhere, but you still have to walk. So I think like both of us is kind of like, it would be nice if we have a car.
Okay, probably we're gonna get a car, like just really settle down here. But you know, I see myself like traveling a few other years.
Yeah.
Like that's why, you know, just getting a car would not be the smartest decision right now.
Of course.
Because like, you know, you want to afford your traveling and you want to stay like back at time, like I was doing kitesurfing all the time, sleeping here and there, I didn't really care much. But now like you get to used to a bit of comfort and like, you know, you want to go to, you know, a bit more different places other than Europe, you know. So it costs you a bit more, like the flight tickets can be a bit more expensive. So my savings I would prefer to spend on them. As I don't have any responsibility on someone specifically, you know, if I had a kid, if I had a family, to, you know, sustain, then it would be different, you know.
Of course.
So that's why I feel like at this age I want to get the advantage of this and like, you know, just spend on the things that I really care and like I want to do and experience more. Getting to the point, you know, like the topic of this episode was the struggles of traveling as a Muslim woman. So like on the social media, people are just promoting the traveling, and they are making amazing videos.
Yeah.
That I also like enjoy watching sometimes. But it kind of, I think, creates an illusion that like traveling is so smooth and it looks perfect, and you get to swim in the most clear water all the time. You get the sunshine all the time.
Yeah, hike volcanoes, swimming with dolphins, swimming with shark, dancing on I don't know what.
But they don't show you that, like while heading to the volcano, it can be erupting, for example.
Yeah.
And you may need to cancel that trip.
And you might get so sick to the point that you ended up, like in some village in Indonesia with 41 degrees, like fever, and like no one there to take care of you.
Exactly, and you become homesick.
Yeah.
And you kind of lose your sense of home on the way.
Yeah.
And it definitely, like all of these things, like while your mind is busy with all of these things, you get to, unfortunately, get further from Allah and like from religion.
Yeah.
And because also like while traveling in hostels, on kite surfing, you get to meet with non-Muslims everywhere, and even though like we generally meet with people who are respectful to our religion, they know about religion. And if they don't, like we try to teach them and like tell them about our sensitivities. However, like you're lacking that support system,
Yeah.
and it's kind of struggling, I guess.
Yeah. It's
about your experience.
Yeah, I would say like besides the things that everyone knows, which is like being homesick and being lonely and struggling on your own and all these kind of stuff, struggling religion, like from a religious perspective, or like, it's like such a huge struggle that you have to go through as a Muslim. Even if you ended up like in Muslim countries, you still hang out with non-Muslim, and it's worse if you hang out with non-Muslim in non-Muslim country. So,
and you don't have a Muslim company at all.
And you don't have Muslim company at all, and like sometimes like they are respectful, but sometimes they don't know themselves, so it's kind of like they cross the boundary, and you have like to teach it to them again. But for one time is okay, for 2 times is okay, but imagine with me for 1 month and a half or 2 months, you have every day to be conscious with whom you hang out or with whom you talk, who is being like, crossing your boundaries, like Islamic boundaries. Have you prayed or not? Are you keeping up with the salah or not? How is your relationship with Allah? Are you doing any sins? And like the big struggle is that no one there to remind you that you're sinning or that you're misdoing things, and like things are a bit messy because you're just like around non-Muslim, and everything is just like encourage you somehow to go to to do like haram things,
And like not everyone is aware of our sensitivities as Muslims. So they would just end up like inviting you to bars and like parties and like places like that. And like when you react to those things, like when you reject them, when you kindly explain to them, before I was very hesitant about this, like they would try to shake hands with you, they would try to hug you, and like just
the hugging part. Oh my god! And I'm like, sorry.
It's like I don't touch men. But like they're like, oh okay, I'm not gonna harm you. Like
sometimes it's like that. Oh, I was just trying to be. I mean, like we're friends. And I'm like, but like in Islam, I'm like, should I give him Islamic like lesson right now, or how should I do?
Like when you say this, they sometimes end up feeling awful, and you're like, don't feel that bad. You're like, it's okay. But like when I think now being in a Muslim country with a Muslim company, like does it really worth like why spending like every single day doing all of these explanations, like you gotta make the experience worth it, But I think it's important to create some kind of like support system within you and like around you, so that you can like make it further. Otherwise, it will just give you so much headache, and like you will like end up feeling awful sometimes. But also, like I would like to say that this is something that improves with trying and like talking and being brave. And I think that happened to me once I started to feel more connected to my Muslim identity, because now, like before being a traveler, before being Beyza, before being I don't know, a teacher or something, I'm a Muslim. Okay, so like this is my very first identity. And like I wanted people to know about this from the first place. And once I had this mindset, it was okay for me to I gotta shake hands, thank you. Like it was much easier to do this. And now like I don't feel that awful, like if they're sad, but I'm like no, like
I think Beyza is like you can give this for people that traveling as like an advice, because it will be like much easier to navigate like the traveling life as a Muslim if you just put in your mind like this is my identity, this is who I am, and I shouldn't feel any bad about it. Same way, like for them it's like, oh, it's cool to invite you for a drink, but you know what I mean? So because it's like, to explain, like it's so easy to drift away when there is nothing reminds you that like that you're Muslim, and it's like sometimes you don't choose to be in a certain position, or like for example we stay in hostels, right? Sometimes maybe like we still stay in female dorm, not around men, in a respectful hostel and everything, but these people are coming from really different background in all terms. So I was telling like Beyza yesterday, like one girl might enter the room holding a beer, in her hand. For her it's like normal, it's like she's bringing water to the room, or like bringing a Coke, or like bringing like whatever, soda. But for me, I'm like, should I be there? Should I pack my stuff and go? Am I sinning? Am I like, so it's like a bit hard.
You don't be part of it, like because Allah is telling us to not get closer to the sin. Allah is not directly saying us like don't do this, in many things. And I think this is the hikmah, this is the wisdom behind it, because you might find it like okay to just sit in a place where people are drinking alcohol, but you may say like, oh, I don't like to drink, and this is what they offer, like, hey, come to the bar with us, and like you're like, oh no, thank you, I don't want to be part of it. And you're like, it's okay, you don't have to drink alcohol. Like I'm like, it's okay.
Can you just leave me alone? I don't want to go, But they are trying to be friendly. I understand, because sometimes like some people are so nice and they want to be friendly, and they push it like so hard, and I'm like on the edge already, like already struggling. Sometimes, I mean, like shaitan can, like be in the way that, oh, why not go? Like, why you're making it such a big deal? You're bonding with these people. Maybe also, it's like, you guys, there is like a lot of details. Sometimes it's like maybe you felt alone, maybe you have traveling on your own for the past 10 days, and now you need like friends, because you have to have someone to talk to, and that's how we were created, وجعلناكم قبولا وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. Sometimes it's like you have this urge in you that I have to connect with people, and then you ended up in this group of people, and like you're between that, should I go? But Islamically it's not my place, but at the same time, if I don't go with them today, maybe tomorrow I have no one to go with me to the waterfall, or like maybe tomorrow I don't know what, I don't know. That's how like shaitan, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُم, it makes it like so glamorous to you somehow in your mind that you drift away and you forgot that, what am I doing this? If I turn down these people, tomorrow Allah will make it easier for you. Maybe I will meet other people on the waterfall or on the way to the waterfall. But it's not like for everyone. It's not like for everyone. Not everyone get to that like conclusion, Sometimes you make error. Sometimes like you fall down, and then you get like to this conclusion, which is like, for whom I mean, like I could have just not doing it, and Allah will send me, someone.
This is like the conclusion that you came to, by experiencing actually, and like, having all of those struggles. But actually, like, even psychologically, like, your behaviors and your values have to be matching. And if they're not, if you see that, like, your behaviors and what you're doing is like being a bit more different, is like differentiating from from your values, then what people are doing, and this is the reason why there are so many bad things are happening in the world, and like so many people are losing their sensitivities, like in Muslim wise, like, and for everyone actually, they automatically, the brain, to survive it, kind of like loses its values and adapts it to the behavior, so that you don't have this identity crisis. However, what we're trying to do is like to, overcome those struggles and like, maintain this Islamic life, is to, I have to be aware of my behaviors so that I can protect my values. And
that it can be exhausting.
And actually, to make it easier, like, that's the importance of the company. That's why Allah is saying kunu ma'as salihin, and Allah is not saying that, kun salih, like, so Allah is not saying that, like, be a righteous person. In the Quran, Allah is saying that be with righteous people, because the way that goes to be a righteous person is going from being around them, being surrounded by them, because you definitely, like, on the way, even in your normal life, but while traveling, because you get to meet with all of those people, and like shaitan can just, sit in front of your way, and like there's literally no one who can control you, not your parents, not your society, no one. Like, recently we were talking, like, if I just took off my hijab and just go out like that, no one would ever know. Like, I can just become a different person in one day,
and
like,
no one will know.
Who could stop me, like,
no
from
one will
this.
judge you. That's like the other scary part, which is like you get to struggle with Islamically as a Muslim person, because like for other people that have like no religion or anything, for them it's like cool, and we were talking like why everyone is so obsessed with Thailand, for example, because Thailand, it's heaven. If I have no religion, no boundaries, I can do anything I want, and it's allowed to happen on the street. Why not? So we were talking about this. So it's like same. So for us, it's like a bit hard, being two cute girls in Thailand, surrounded by all the haram things. And which is like, for me, Thailand, it's not something I will do again ever.
Definitely not.
And I think like sorry to interrupt, but like after our experiences, I think now we're like in the stage that we're choosing the countries that we go to, and we're like more cautious where to go and where not to go. And like we are okay. I can be alone. I will be okay with being alone instead of like being in these kind of like like what is it called? تجمعات or حلقات.
Company, like, so being surrounded by companies.
Surrounded by companies that doesn't
help you growing as a Muslim, doesn't help you improving your spirituality, maintaining your Islamic life. Because even like another thing, like, I implemented into my traveling is like doing da'wah and sharing the message of Islam, because like otherwise, if I allow people to, affect me, if I allow people to, share their own message with me, they can share, but like, you gotta grow something inside you that you won't be affected easily, and like you will be the one that will affect you, that you will be the one that will make the change, because you know that you know the truth, and like Allah created us as the Khalifa, as the representative on the world, and we have a purpose in this life. And like before, I was not really aware of this, being representative means, and like, just hanging out with like, non-Muslim friends, and like, eating and hanging out. But now that I'm aware of this, even if I'm hanging out with them, I try to share this message with them. And this way I'm reminding myself of my purpose, and I feel like I'm giving the right of the road as well. Like there's a hadith, like even if you're sitting on the way, it's not allowed to sit beside the way in a way that people are walking, unless you give the right of the road, which means like either you can do dawah, either you can, I don't know, do cleansing, you do something beneficial for the society. So like I try to implement this into my life while traveling, like just giving the right of those people and like letting them know about the true message of Islam, and like maybe changing their perspective, because not everyone is getting the chance to meet with religious Muslim women in their life. And we know, like, we have many stories that, you know,
of course,
that, like, you know, their perspective to Islam has changed through us, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. And also we have a lot of stories, I think also same for you, of meeting non-Muslim, and they are saying that it was really fun to chit chat, and be ready for more like juicy, talks, especially me, you know, like being super honest. I hope you guys felt like this episode somehow, you know, you relate to this episode somehow, or like you got like some insights from it or something like this. We would love to hear like their opinion. How is it? As she said earlier, we have like more stories still to share, and I'm so grateful that we met in life. Alhamdulillah. So we will see you in the next episode, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.